Hey YouTube fans, it's me the Story Man, and welcome back to my latest video. Today I'm reading a new story which I made from Chat GPT, which I call the Sleeping Sunshine. I like that one, the Sleeping Sunshine. I made that up. I made it from the top of my head. So remember, folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, the voice acting, the story is made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were done by a real-life human being, for which I call myself the Story Man. Let's begin, shall we? Once upon a time, in a valley where mornings smelled like flowers and evenings shimmered with fireflies, the sun lived high above the world. That's kind of funny. Every day it rose with a laugh. Into the clouds gold, warm sleepy forest, and tucked itself beyond the mountains each night. Everyone believed the sun could never fall. Everyone was wrong. I can imagine the sun fading away. It's just a matter of time, though. I wonder for how long before our sun gives out. One autumn evening, after shining for countless ages without a single day off, the sun gave a tiny hum. Like that. Yeah, I'm also sleepy. Then another. Its light flickered. A gentle plop that sounded more surprised than frightening. The sun slipped from the sky and tumbled through the clouds like a glowing golden apple. Though it landed softly in a patch of moss beside a stream. The world gasped. The stars didn't know whether to come out. The moon hovered awkwardly halfway over the horizon. Flowers closed their petals. Birds forgot their songs. The air grew cool. I can imagine the sun. We lose the sun, we just die. I can imagine how weird that is. Imagine that would be our death. The first creature to find the fallen sun wasn't a mighty eagle or a wise owl. It was a little hamster named... what name is that hamster? Hamdrew. His name is Hamdrew. I like that Hamdrew. Nice name. Hamdrew was no bigger than a teacup. He spent most of his days collecting seeds, arranging pebbles by color, and helping worms who accidentally wandered onto sidewalks. That's one helpful hamster. Good old Hamdrew. Trying to giving a helping paw whenever his fellow animals fell in disarray. When Hamdrew reached the clearing, he nearly dropped every seed in his tiny paws. There, nestled among the moss, was the sun. Beautiful as it is. I can imagine seeing it as it is. How cool that would be. It wasn't enormous anymore. Without the whole sky to fill, it had become the size of a pumpkin, glowing softly instead of blazing. It looked tired. Very tired. Just like how I am right now. I can imagine our sun's falling to sleep. I can imagine that's how it is. But it's not. Ours is scientific. The Earth is just rotating around its axis. Just spinning around the sun. Letting it feel the nice cool breeze. Oh dear. Hamdrew whispered. The sun blinked one sleepy eye. It was... I'm sorry. I think I worked too long. Yeah, I can imagine how tired you are to do it for years, for ages on end, without taking a break. You look exhausted. I gotta... It'll sound like that. Hamdrew, look around. No one else had arrived. The whole world was waiting. That's how I can imagine. That's how Pip was thinking, just doing a long, silent think of what to do. Then, said Hamdru, I'll take care of you. He'll care for the sun until it's better. The sun smiled weakly. I've never been cared for before. I've never been taken care of before. I can imagine him yawning like that constantly. He's so tired. Hamdru rolled the warm sun into his little burrow. It was difficult. Sometimes the sun rolled away on its own. I can imagine like a ball. Sometimes it sneaked sparks that turned pebbles into tiny glass marbles. Ooh. I can imagine how weird that is. Poor Hamdru. His stuff will be turned to tiny glass by then. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness that didn't happen to him. Hamdru didn't complain. He made the softest nest from moss, danda, lion fluff, and feathers shed by friendly robins. Wow, I can imagine how comfy that would be. Well, as much as comfortable as a hamster can be. He fetched cool water from the stream, not to pour on the sun, of course, but to fill the burrow with gentle stream that soothed its crackling light. Like a noise machine, soothing, like listening to the water rush to the meadow. Every evening he sang tiny hamster songs while polishing the sun's golden surface with silky leaves. I can imagine being cared for by a hamster. I wonder how cute that would be. You don't have to shine today, Hamdru would tell it. When he said this, you can rest. You have the right not to be so bright today. Just sleep as much as you want until you're better. Outside, the world slowly adapts, as we always do. We'll adapt to any environment. Foxes shared their warm dens with rabbits. Owls carried glowing mushrooms through the forest. Whales taught the oceans how to shimmer with bioluminescent creatures. People gathered around campfires, telling stories instead of rushing through busy days. You can imagine they're just taking their time. At night, it is rest. And I wish I had some rest too. Without the bright sun overhead, everyone discovered ways to create little lights. Lights of their own. I can imagine making using lamp lights, candles, matches, but fluorescent lights, lanterns. Oh yes, you name it. Campfires, torches. We use all that stuff. We'll use that back. We'll use it again. Meanwhile, Hamdru noticed something. Each time someone was kind to another, the sun glowed just a little brighter. When a bear rescued a duckling, it brightened. When children shared blankets, it brightened more. Oh, looks like kindness is restoring him. When strangers became friends, little rays escaped from its surface. The sun had a realization and whispered this. It's hope, whispered the sun. I think it's what fuels me. Hope. Hope is the light that clears all shadows. And the hope people are giving are refueling the sun, recharging him to his full strength. I think Hamdru might have figured that out. Hope can rekindle all flames. And it looks like it's rekindling this one's flame. So Hamdru traveled from village to village asking for no gold or praise. Instead, he invited everyone to do one kind thing before bedtime. The smallest acts of kindness became a wave across the world. Wow, all that might refuel the sun. Neighbors planted gardens together. Birds carried seeds to empty fields. Children left crumbs for hungry sparrows. Even the kindest deed can be a good fuel source. Even wolves learned to howl lullabies instead of frightening songs. I can imagine how cool that would be, a wolf singing. I wonder if we actually see that. I can imagine how cool that would be. Night after night, the sun grew brighter, grew warmer, brighter, rounder, until one morning it stretched with a huge glowing yawn. Oh, my God. I think, it said, I'm ready. All the animals gathered in the valley. The mountains leaned closer. The river slowed to watch. All of nature was watching it. Could the sun have finally returned? I can imagine the mountains were all thinking that. Thinking how life is returning again. Andrew climbed onto the sun's warm surface and asked this question. Are you sure you'll be alright? The sun chuckled. I will. But I will miss my nurse. Looks like the sun and Andrew had a good friendship. The little hamster hugged the giant glowing sphere. And he said this. I'll miss my patient. Like this, he hugged it like this. I can imagine hugging the sun. It may be nice. The sun rose gently into the air. Not with an explosion, not with thunder, but with thousands of tiny golden butterflies lifting it together until it floated back into the heavens. The instant it reached the sky, dawn burst across the world, more beautiful than anyone remembered. I can imagine how beautiful that would be. Imagine how beautiful it is. The sun wasn't just warm anymore. It felt comforting. I can imagine. I wish our sun was like that. It's just hot. Dear God, it's hot. As though every being carried a tiny thank you. I can imagine how nice that was. From that day on, the sun always paused for one quiet minute each sunrise. People thought it was simply the beginning of morning. But the birds knew better. So did the mountains. Mother Nature knows what the sun really is thinking about. And every hamster smiled when the first golden rays touched the earth. High above the clouds, the sun looked down at one little burrow and whispered, Good morning, Andrew. That's kind of nice. Far below, a tiny hamster would stretch, wave one paw toward the sky, and answer, Don't forget to rest. Like this. Don't forget to rest, old friend. And if you ever notice a sunrise that seemed especially gentle, as though the light itself is wrapped in kindness, perhaps that's because the sun still remembers the smallest hero who taught the greatest star in the sky that even the brightest hearts sometimes need someone to care for them. I can imagine even the caretakers need to be taken care of. Even the heroes need someone to be cared for. Ooh. That was really good. And that's the end of my video, and that was the story of the Sleeping Sunshine. So remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. This is the Story Man signing out. And remember folks, I'll repeat again, hit that like button. Like this video to like the video here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel to get daily updates from me by clicking the bell down there to get notifications from me and updates. Comment down in the comment section below on what kind of story you want me to make, and I will make it, and I will read it and give it as much life as I can with my voice acting. If we do all that, this thumb will reach the end with a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, subscribe equals a thumbs up from me to you. Remember, the story may be made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were done by a real-life human being, for which I call myself the Story Man. Thank you and goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye.